let's take a look at what I believe to be one of the best high value options in the G-Shock lineup. I have to be careful how I word it because I'm not reducing the fact that $1,450, that's a lot of money for a G-Shock. I realize that, I get it. This is the MTG B2000YR1A. It is a limited edition and it is available at Exquisite Timepieces, authorized dealer of G-Shock and many other brands. They're located in Naples, Florida, but online you can purchase no problem. You can reach out to my guy Tyler, or you can simply just go to their website. I'll provide a link down below. You can click that, purchase it, or they'll pop up this chat thing if you're on their website, whether you're on your mobile device or a desktop, and you can chat with a salesperson like in real time. Like typically if it's during business hours, like you're really talking to one of the salespeople, you might even get Tyler. And if you do, tell them I sent you and you will get a good deal, right? So before we cover this watch, I want to put it in perspective. So for example, you can get, I don't even know what model this is, but you can get a more normal G-Shock. And I use this one because it's more in the same size realm of this MTG, yeah. I don't want to mess up the numbers. And you can get these at pretty affordable prices. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to put it in perspective. But you're not going to get a laminated carbon monocoque case with, you know, special materials and colorways and other features. You're not going to get that in these models. Doesn't make this one less capable, quite frankly. It's more capable per dollar than this guy. But watches are fashion pieces, so, you know, if that's what you want, that's within your budget, then go for that. On the other side, you can go MRG. Now, I don't have the big boy MRG because they do have big boy MRGs like this, but I do have the MRG Square. Now, when you get into these, you're talking multiple of thousands of dollars, more than twice the price of what this MTG is. And that's why I'm saying the MTG is a really good entry into the luxury side of G-Shock. That's probably how I should say it, because it's kind of like, you know how in Seikos you have like some of the watches with the SLA movements, the Adel movements and stuff like that. They're kind of like Grand Seiko lights. This is, the MTG is kind of like the MRG lights, if you will. So, like I said, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces for sending this over. Let's get into the watch that I'm already almost 3 minutes in, and I haven't even discussed the size. So, measuring without all the lumps and bumps, from here to here, I measure the case width at 46.5 millimeter. The lug to lug, if there is such a thing on this one, is about 54 millimeter. And then the thickness is 15.4. Not really sure what other sizes you might want off this watch because it is a larger G-Shock. However, it wears very comfortable on many size wrists, including mine and yours and a lot of people. So, but I want to show one of my favorite features of this watch, and that is the case construction. There's carbon fiber. The case is a monocoque carbon core case. It has a tough solar movement, sapphire crystal. See, this is where we're pushing up to the value that the MRG offers, but you're doing it at a much more affordable price point. So you can see all the carbon. You can see that the case itself, when they cut it away and shape the case, that it's actually layers of carbon and resin, and it just adds a nice little element. Couple that with the top side with this metal bezel up top. It's kind of a golden color over here with a transition from blue over to like a rich violet, depending on what light you catch it in. Hopefully I'm going to capture some of that, but there's some beautiful purples, blues, golds, yellows, all that stuff. And you'll see a lot of that also on the dial, whether it's the MTG logo, the markers, the handset, and some of the trim. You have a colored date wheel, and then you have 2 time zones you can set independently. So you can unscrew this crown, and then one click out. I'm not going to go into all the functions, but I do want to show this. One click out, you can adjust your dual time zone watch face, or whatever you want to call it, clock down at the in between the 7 and 8 position. So if I go back one, it's going to set it an hour behind. So we'll go 2 hours behind. So it's like now 2 hours behind our current zone, and then you can see if you go all the way out, you can adjust your time up top. Now it is radio controlled as well, so it will keep track of the time zone that way. And you, of course, you have your date indicate, or your day here, your date, and then you have your 24 hours, so you're showing we're in the PM. Now, if you hit reset, it'll actually just kind of move the hands out of the way so you can see what's going on. Hit it again, it just goes right back. There's different modes that's indicated by this guy here. And so that's your stopwatch. It's a how does it start? There we go. So start stops there. Back to mode. You can go countdown timer. You can go alarm function, and then just back to your time and date. That's a simple instruction. The watch does more, for sure. Forget what this is down here. I think this is your AM PM indicator for that watch, and then this one's for your normal one, I believe. Yeah, because it's pointed toward the PM. And it will receive radio signal in most areas. I know sometimes that's tricky, but it should do it. Let's pop it on wrist. This is labeled as a limited edition, although on the case back, I don't see any indication of it being numbered. The strap is extremely comfortable, and yes, it has a larger watch. The G-Shock guys will know this, but it wears incredibly comfortable on wrist. The carbon core monocoque case, it's very smooth on the backside, so there's nothing rough there, no hot spots. It's lightweight in nature. You have that large sapphire crystal, so you don't have to worry about any scratches on that guy, and it just looks great. The strap is extremely comfortable. I'm not a huge fan of the metal keeper, but keeping with the more premium feel and look of the watch, they tend to do a little bit better hardware, including the metal keeper. So that's a take it or leave it. You could, if you really wanted to, you could probably swap this out for a different kind of keeper, but you'd have to do that on your own and source one and figure it out. Otherwise, it's a great watch. And that, quite frankly, reminds me a lot of back in the day when I had the MRG. This is more in line with the big MRG, which I had sold, but those are thousands of dollars too. The one I had came on a metal bracelet, but they do offer some metal bracelet options for the MTG line, but the rubber strap is just so dang comfortable. And there is, of course, a light on this thing as well. So let's turn off the studio lights and check that out. So we have Lume, first of all. So we know Casio can do Lume, clearly indicated here. What I'm referencing is we would like to see some Lume like this on the 2100, the Casio. But then you have a dual illumination there, a super bright LED light. So you should be able to read this thing day or night, one way or the other. And it is, like I said, solar, so it'll keep up with the charge. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.